basketball as a whole seems to be much more flat, especially the 2000s, to ultra modern hobby basketball fatigue. You think we're in that area right now, or we're at that point right now where there is hobby basketball fatigue? Because basketball went from being, the second or third most popular sport in the hobby to number one seemingly overnight. Seemingly, once the 2018 Prism came out, basketball soared past baseball. So what do you make of this potential hobby basketball fatigue? Just that?
I like I said, I walked around and I talked to a lot of people that have different presence in the hobby, different influencers, and kind of tried to put together all, their different thoughts. But yeah, a couple guys that I really do respect that do a lot in basketball said they just were feeling like, it just feels like it's just kind of flat. People aren't really interested. I think they did mention that there's a feeling that there's still some of the overlap from people buying in really high back at the peak that are still holding on for those card prices to return. And so the buyers aren't wanting to stretch up to those peak prices, but the sellers aren't wanting to go down because they do have so much in those cards. I think there's definitely exceptions, because there were definitely cards that were moving. There were sales that were being made. But I think just as an overall picture, 2000s into, especially as you get closer to the more modern stuff. Now, I think people were saying that Ja was doing really well. I don't think he's even near back up to his highs that he was at, back at the peak, but people were wanting Ja Morant stuff. I think that, but we also do see, we see these different seasons where it's always like that. So I don't know if the seasons are kind of changing as the hobby kind of evolves, or whatever you want to call it. I guess that's just kind of what they were feeling, like stuff that they thought was going to really be hot or was going to move or they're going to be able to trade or whatever was just kind of sitting. So, but that wasn't my personal experience, because I was doing mostly vintage baseball stuff, and that was a little bit different. So
yeah, we'll get to that in just a sec, because when I think about the modern basketball and I think about the Prism rookie being kind of the one that's mostly accessible, and I don't know if this has anything to do with the fatigue or not, but and maybe it's just me, I think back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, when the designs changed radically from year to year. I remember I couldn't wait to open that first pack to see what they looked like each year, because you knew that they were going to look nothing like the year before.
Yeah.
When it comes to Prism, the brand is really built on that Prism look, maybe that's what it is, the Prism look. So the design doesn't change that much from year to year. You've basically got the same kind of silvery borders with just with different kind of angles and stuff, applied. So I could see that being a little fatiguey, and that there's just, even the parallels from year to year. Is it that exciting to keep on collecting them? I don't know. It's not in my wheelhouse, so I don't want to speak for the collectors or the people who do sort of specialize in that area. But I wonder if that has a bit to do with it, or if it's just based simply on the market and how we had that Q1 bubble, or a year ago right now, basically, and people are just tired of having to continually watch the market be so volatile on these modern day cards. And of course they're volatile. These players are playing. The card can dip in value 50% one night, or go up or double overnight because of a performance. So you have to have the stomach for that. And I feel like, and I this might be a generalization, but I feel like older collectors maybe don't have the stomach for that as much as they might have when they were younger. And maybe you see more younger people in that area, and these are the players that they're watching, where guys like you and I, who we're not in our 20s anymore, in our 40s, right? We're more, maybe a little bit looking for that more, that less more volatility.
In my 40s. I'm close.
Oh, sorry. Okay. My bad. Calling you older than you are.